What's up, music fans of the internet? We are last week's album. I am Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And we are back this week with another review, but we'll start like we always do, drinking a beer. Cheers, Derek.
Kevin.
And cheers, everyone at home. All right, let's get right to it. This week we're talking about Essential Tremors by Roddy Walston and The Business.
Word.
A little bit of background on these guys. They are a rock and roll quartet based in Baltimore. Although only one of them still lives there, they still claim it as home. This is their third LP, and the title of the album is actually the name of a condition that the lead singer has where his hands start shaking uncontrollably. Somehow he still rocks it out on the piano. We don't know how, but let's jump into the album. Start us off.
Kevin, before we go much further, thanks for pointing that out because I thought the album name Essential Tremors was kind of a concluding episode on the movie series Tremors. But thanks for pointing that out.
No, great trilogy if that were to be so, but it's not. Back to the album, guys. Let's tell you what it sounds like. Derek, what do you think Essential Tremors sounds like?
Kevin, I thought Essential Tremors sounded like Langhorne Slim, with a heavy side of Peter Frampton with a chaser of classic country.
Wow, I like that. That's very diverse, but very descriptive at the same time. I think it sounds like sultry, retro, balls to the wall, rock and roll. We will tell you why as we jump into some key tracks. Derek, what do you have for key tracks?
Kevin, my key tracks are Heavy Bells, Hard Times, and Boys Can Never Tell.
Whoa, you're going with 3 this week. All right.
Oh, yeah. Are we going with 2 all the time now?
Let's go with 2. We'll keep it short for the people. But I'm making you start with Heavy Bells because that's the first track, so that it has to be one of yours.
All right. Heavy Bells, opening track. There is a bouncy electric guitar riff, infectious beat, both of which kind of led me to my Peter Frampton illusion and sounds like, which I felt, especially on the electric guitar parts, I felt there was a lot of Peter Frampton kind of sounds going on, but you can dive into that later. This one, as I mentioned, kind of starts off with this very soothing, bouncy electric guitar riff, just fantastic beat, and it really builds into this just seething rocker of a song, especially in the chorus. I mean, they just rock out, with the chorus just screaming Heavy Bells. It grabbed my attention immediately right off the bat and could not leave this off from one of my best tracks. Maybe it's my extra one I shouldn't have picked, but there it is.
All right, yeah, I know what you mean. It's definitely a banger of an opener, and it is a great intro to this band if you've never heard any of their work. It is quintessential Roddy Walston and The Business. However, for my first key track, I'm choosing Blacklight, and it opens with this dirty bass line, bumping percussion, and sexy, sexy vocals. And a fun fact here, when they were recording the song, the co-producer, Matt Wignall, suggested that Roddy try singing in falsetto just to change things up, and he did, and it took off, and you will hear him singing in falsetto. This might be the first time. I'm not sure in their entire catalog if he's done that before, but it really changes things up for them and gives them a bit of a different sound than they normally have, but still an awesome sound. And all things considered for this song, just a sweaty, swaggering romper of a track. So I really dug it. Derek, what was your next key track?
I had Hard Times, and this one kicked off with a bass snare drum beat with, once again, guitars kind of slowly building in intensity throughout the song. The lyrics kind of talked about finding a silver lining in life's difficulties at times, which is kind of referencing the song's title, Hard Times, obviously. One lyric that really kind of grabbed my attention right off the bat was, good times will come, good times will roll away. And I just thought that really encapsulated well taking the good with the bad. As a B-Law professor once told me, you got to take the good with the bad. Great song, though, overall, top to bottom.
Awesome. Well, for my next key track, I'm going with Sweat Shock. And it opens with this primal drums, some almost Native American harmony vocals, and then it goes into this Aerosmith-ish Walk This Way reminiscent guitar riff, these completely threadbare staccato vocals really pulling on J. Roddy's vocal chords, which he does a lot, and I really dig it. And then this scorching guitar solo. And ultimately, it sounds like J. Roddy Walston and the Business doing their take on classic rock. It's like Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, and ZZ Top all rolled in to one awesome track. So really dug that one. Best lyric, Derek, what do you got?
Well, before we go there, I'm going to stick to my third questionable key track that I may not have selected. It's called Boys Can Never Tell. This one I thought was a little bit different from the rest of the album, and it was much more acoustic guitar driven. There was a lot of piano in the background and just this steady bass drum beat that just kept things moving along. There was towards the end of the song, there was a soft slide guitar that really added to the rich alt-country sound. I thought this song exhibited very strong vocal melodies, just weasel its way into my head and would not get out, which it was a great song, so I can't complain. The lyrics focused on the shortcomings of the Arrested Development of males. Not that I have any idea what that is about at all, because I don't. But interesting lyric. I'm gonna love you, son, even if you love no one. Just kind of an accepting thing. Thought it was kind of an interesting track. Really showed a different sound from the rest of the rock and roll they were doing, but just strong throughout that song as well. And so now I'm going to jump back to my best lyric, Kevin, and it comes from the song Hard Times, which I already kind of referenced. But good times will come, good times will roll away, so enjoy them while they're here. I just add that last part, by the way.
Yeah. I like that. For my best lyric, it is from the song Marigold, which kind of reminds me of the Beatles. What is the name of the track? Let me check really quick, guys. Come Together. It's almost this interesting character study on this weird kind of dude. And the line from the song, though, is, he likes to share his money, but he hates to pay his bills. And I think we can all relate to that lyric, so really dug it. Just kind of a one-off. Overall, J. Roddy makes it almost impossible to tell what he's saying, and almost completely possible. He dances that line really well. So good luck trying to figure out your best lyric, fans at home. All right, overall rating, Derek, what are you giving it?
I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. At one point the band doesn't completely cover a whole bunch of different ranges of sounds, but the sound they do have, they dominate. Just rocking songs, even some of the more subdued songs such as Boys Can Never Tell, which I just described, very rich in the details. Vocal melodies were strong, fantastic rhythms and beats. I mean, I can't sit still and listen to their music, which I think is a fantastic thing and always a very fantastic litmus test as far as I'm concerned. Loved it. 5 out of 5.
All right, we're going to agree. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 too, for a little bit different reasons. I actually think they do explore a lot more sounds, at least than they have before. They're stretching their limits a little bit beyond just straightforward rock and roll. It's a little bit soul. It's a little bit country. It's actually very retro to me. It sounds like them doing a lot of their takes on some classic rock, which is a really good direction for them, I think. And, for this being their third LP, I think they're probably exactly where they want to be. They're probably developmentally farther than they should be compared to other bands, taking their signature sound and doing some really cool things with it while still staying true to it. So, and yeah, as Derek mentioned, you cannot sit still and listen to J. Roddy Walston and the Business. If you can, you're a vegetable, and I'm sorry. So, we agree, 5 out of 5.
Kevin, frankly, I can't believe I'm sitting still here talking about it. I want to move just thinking about how badass their sound is.
We can tell by your banging on your desk and your shaking laptop when you do that, Derek. All right, guys, there you have it, another review. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably the best rock and roll album of the year. But you make up your own mind. Let us know what you think. We are last week's album. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like what you see. If you don't, sorry, not sorry. Last week's album.
Next week we'll be better.
Yeah, maybe. Last week's album, talking about good music. I'm Kevin.
Derek.
And we'll see you next week, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Go listen to some good music.